Halo semuanya, selamat malam, selamat berjumpa lagi dengan saya Menina Putri Wismurti, Festival Co-Director dari Europe On Screen 2023. Apakah suara saya cukup terdengar? Maaf, hari kali ini kita harus agak sedikit, gini, supaya kelihatan kali ya. Oke, apakah suara saya cukup terdengar? Just in case nanti kalau tidak terdengar, karena kebetulan saya lagi ada di salah satu festival venue kita, festival venue Europe On Screen, yaitu di Institut Francia Indonesia di jalan di Ivi Tamrin, yang ada di Jakarta. Saya lagi duduk di tamannya mereka. Jadi kita akan ngobrol hari ini bersama sutradara dari film yang merupakan dari film Armenia berjudul AURORA Sunrise, yaitu dengan Mbak Inna Sahakiyan. Dan kalau di pengumuman kami memang ada juga salah satu produsernya, yaitu Fardan, cuma sayang sekali Fardan tidak bisa hadir. Jadi kita akan ngobrol bareng dengan Mbak Inanya, nanti akan bergabung bersama kita. Dan sebelumnya saya juga ingin berterima kasih kepada semua teman-teman yang sudah menghadiri Europe On Screen dari hari pertama di 16 Juni 2023 sampai hari ini di 23 Juni, yaitu hari ke-8 di Europe On Screen. Kita masih ada juga di kota-kota lain, masih ada di Bandung, di Jogja, di Medan, di Bali, di Surabaya. Itu masih ada berlangsung juga. Kalian bisa cek langsung untuk venue-nya ada di mana saja. Nah, hari ini, malam ini kita akan ngobrol dengan salah satu sutradara dari Armenia, saudara perempuan yang membuat cerita Aurora Sunrise. Aurora Sunrise ini baru saja menang di The Hague Movies That Matter Film Festival yang berlangsung kalau tidak salah itu April atau Maret. Dia baru menang sebagai Best Film pilihan penonton, Audience Award, dan juga Special Mention for Camera. And then juga film ini yang terinspirasi juga dari cerita asli, cerita nyata, merupakan submissionnya negara Armenia secara official buat Academy Award tahun ini. Sebentar, aku ingin mengundang dulu mbaknya. Apakah dia sudah hadir? Oke, dia belum hadir sepertinya. Oh, sudah. From from her film account Aurora Sunrise, the session will be in English. Hello, Miss Ina. How are you, Ina?
I'm good.
Can you hear me well?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry of the background because I have to be outside. At the moment, we have a film screening inside the auditorium, so I cannot do it in the auditorium of our festival venue.
It's fine.
Can you hear me well?
Yes, yes. And you can
Okay,
you hear
that's
me
good.
okay?
Yes, yes, I can hear you, but a little bit slow though, because of
Yeah,
the
the same
I
is
couldn't hear
here.
you very well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
okay,
same is here.
all right,
Sorry for
okay. So probably please kindly introduce yourself to our audience here. I just told them a little bit about the film in Indonesian language, so maybe it's better to hear directly from you.
So I am Inna Sahakiyan, director of Aurora Sunrise. Of course, the film was created with a huge team of other filmmakers, like
Sorry, I couldn't hear
editor.
you.
Hello,
Sorry. Yes.
hello, can you hear me?
It's very low.
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you all the time.
Okay, great.
Great,
Right.
great.
So, yes, maybe the first question would be, I understand that the film is based on a true story. And what makes you decide to take this story into your film?
Yes, I was working with Zorian Institute on another documentary. Zorian Institute is an organization in Toronto which is recorded more than 700 testimonies
I'm
with
sorry, Nina, I think I couldn't hear you. Sorry, I couldn't hear you at all. So what I'm going to do is to get some, because it's pretty loud in here. I will move inside. I will move inside
Yes.
first so that it's easier because I couldn't hear you at all. So okay,
Is
I will
it
move inside.
better now? Maybe I changed the. Hello? No.
So sorry about that. Um, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, that's much better because it's very loud outside. I couldn't hear you at all.
Okay.
So I'm just going to tell the staff to be quiet, and then
Hmm.
after that we could continue.
Okay.
All right, great. So yes, apologize for the for the technical matters. So yes, so the first question was to ask about what makes you decide to bring the story
Hmm.
into your
I
film.
so I was doing research with Zorian Institute in their oral history archive, and they recorded more than 700 testimonies of genocide survivors. And when I become familiar with Aurora's story, which I knew about it, but not in much details, I was really shocked with the strength of her personality, with through what she passed, and how strong she was in order to continue her fight through the activism by acting in the film and by retelling her story, and how much she did for helping others. So it was very impressive story, and I decided to tell it to the world.
That's a very good decision, and congratulations for winning the best film in Audience Award at the Hack Movies That Matter Film Festival a couple months ago.
Yes, the film won more than 10 awards, and 6 of them were audience awards from different parts of the world. So this is very strange, but very like really inspiring for me because, and for all our team, because seems like the film is heavy, right? It's about Armenian genocide, it's touching heavy topics, it's very graphic, but I believe people are touched by her personality the same way that I was, and they follow her story, and this shows that despite of the topics of the film are like can be tough, the audience still can empathize and like vote for for the film as the best film. So thank you.
And how long did it take you to finish it? I understand that you did a lot of research, and then also for the animation itself, the process might take some time, I imagine.
Yes, it was a never-ending story, to be really honest. We started in 2014, so research and fund, like putting together financing of the film took quite a lot because Armenia is a small country. We do not have big film funds. So it was really, really long way to put together the budget for the film and also do the whole historical research. And we started animation in 2019 already to work on animation, and then COVID started, and then war
Oh,
in Armenia started. So we had
yeah.
really, really many obstacles. But we finished the film. So it take about more than 7 years and a lot of hard work of devoted people around the creation of the film.
Ah, okay. And what was the biggest challenges? I mean, beside the obstacles coming from COVID at that time, what other challenges that you found, especially in making it into animation?
Uh, yes, with COVID, we had biggest challenge to do everything online because the animation is done between Armenia and Lithuania. And
Mm.
also, like music, our great music composer, Christine after her is German, so music was coming from German. So basically, we did the whole production process online. So like working 24/7, uploading every piece of illustration, every small movement of animation, every sample of music, and then brainstorming with Zoom meetings. This was one of the biggest challenges. But of course, the fact that we faced war in 2020 September in Armenia when all my crew was on front line, because we're a small country, and if we are in the war, then we all are switching. I was not in front line. I was doing reports from Armenia to international news at that period, but we all become basically frontline studio, and we had to stop working on film totally in this period. And then I'm thankful to our co-producers, Lithuanian and German, that continue working on the film while Armenia stopped working on the film totally. And also the heaviest part for me personally is that sadly nothing changed in my country during these 100 years, even though Aurora Sunrise is telling story from 100 years ago. But we are still in the same situation. We are still in war. Small part of my country, Artsakh, Nagorno-Karabakh, is right now in blockade, where 120,000 people are in total blockade without food and like any resources, and they are facing ethnic cleansing any moment up to now. And this is the heaviest for me as an Armenian, to understand that sadly world did not become better place. And I really hope that this film will give reason to others to think that we need to change this place.
and the film has already met its audience in Armenia.
Of course it did. We had premiere in Golden Apricot Festival last year, where we won award, Silver Apricot Award in international competition. And then we had theatrical release, basically two theatrical releases in November, and then one smaller in April, connected with the Memory Day of Armenian Genocide.
And how did the audience respond about this? I mean, especially talking about a very heavy issues, would they cry? Because I was crying when I watched it. I can imagine they were all like having a lot of
tissues. I didn't mean to make people cry, but yes, audience crying everywhere. Not only, but of course, Armenian audience is much more emotional with the topic. And I really have very long discussions with the audience afterwards, and the people write to me, and what I really like, that I hear a lot, that they never had perspective of the genocide from a young girl, from the young girl point of view. And this is something new in Armenian history, in cinema, that we basically hear the genocide story from the perspective of 14-year-old teenage girl, and it's
a different perspective, but also how I found it, it's also touching, coming from a 14 years old, and then how you choose animation with these colors and a 2D animation, especially. It's a great decision, especially in telling this dark history, the dark side. And sometimes, I don't know about the others, I don't know about the audience here. We have already screened the film here also, and I saw some audience are coming out from the cinema with very, very wet faces. And but why did you actually choose the medium of animation at the end?
Yeah, because I'm a documentary filmmaker, so for me it was very important to give her voice in this film, and that's why I was sure from very beginning that Aurora's testimonies, interviews, will be the main storytelling element in the film. But all events that she's telling us in her interviews, they happened more than 100 years ago. So we need to find a medium which will visualize the story. And animation is very unique. I'm a big fan of animated documentaries. And there are great examples as well with Bashir, Another Day of Life, The Tower, Persepolis. And having these films in my mind, and also understanding that this medium will give us basically freedom to express our artistic vision of events, and be creative with symbols, colors, mood, not do really direct illustration of events, but artistic interpretation of them, and give chance also to audience use their own imagination to understand the reality. And it's very unique tool to, in general, to speak about the dreams and the horrific events and past.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, that's really true. And then I think it's you choose a very perfect medium in animation, and it's actually with all these colors and also all these wonderful, like you said, it's actually express the dreams very good way instead of yeah, it's a very good medium that you choose. We really like it here. And
Thank
then,
you.
what about the music itself? Did you also work with some musicians? Like you said before, it was actually coming from Germany, and then I was just wondering because all the production was taken during COVID time. I was just also how was the dubbing session will take place of the voices? Like how did you guys do it?
Yeah. The music, as I told, is by great German composer Christine Afterhaar, and we worked online. Sadly, she was not able to travel to Armenia during the live recording, and we did part of live recording in Armenia. She did part of live recording in Prague with another orchestra. We did all the post-production music in Armenia, so everything was collected here. We also cooperate with two Armenian artists. The main music comes from Christine, but there are some parts that we work with Armenian composers, Andranik Bedbedyan, and Gata band. So it was a band that was doing some parts where I really need to have more Armenian mood, because we really aimed to have, because like our goal with creating this film was to an audience, and to have music that will not be only Armenian was very important for us, because it makes a story to speak closer to the international audience. And but in some places we needed very specific Armenian mood, so we worked with Armenian composers, and the dubbing was done dubbing in this kind of project is done last. So we were lucky because COVID was already over, so we had really live dubbing session with actors, and that's done in Armenia with Armenian actors. But we were very careful to speak exact same dialect that people
Yeah.
of that time were speaking from her village. So we did very deep documentary research on it and followed the documentary truth, both in all artifacts and
Okay.
also in the language that is spoken in the film.
Yeah. So there's basically a different dialect and accent during the. Oh wow. Okay.
We
How?
have Western Armenia and Eastern
Yes.
Armenia. I do speak Eastern Armenia, so basically ex-Soviet part of Armenia,
Yeah.
speaks Eastern Armenia, and diaspora Armenia, like people from historical Armenia, Turkey, and so it's different dialects.
Um, okay. Wow. So how many languages? Like I mean the same, but then with a different accent, I guess.
Of course, yeah. Mhm.
Okay. And what was your most fun experience in making this film?
Oh, uh,
Was it like
the fun
I'm just
experience
wondering.
was I think the premiere during the Annecy Film Festival was very unique, because the process was torture, to be really honest, creation process. So, like the premiere moment was really important when you sit within a great cinema with an international audience, and you see how they accept the film, and see the audience in tears, and you understand that this 7+ year of so many people's hard work really pay off at the end. That was one of the most important moments.
I think also why, I mean, when you said early before about how having the audience in tears, we could totally feel the same fear, the same sadness, and that it's actually happened not only in Armenia, but then it's also in other countries. At least for us here in Indonesia, we face the same genocide at the same
Yes.
at the currently in the same timeline, basically. So it's something that I think people in the whole world would feel the same on what Aurora's
Yes.
feeling. So yeah, that's why.
Yes, sadly, it's until now, as I say, the same is happening now in Ukraine, in
Yes.
Syria, and the destinies of girls are also like sadly same. We all know Nadia Murad's story, which is basically very similar, sadly very similar to our story, which happened 100 years ago. And I really hope that this film and films about humanity and the strong human characters who are keeping their humanity despite in these heavy situations around will make the world a little bit better place.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, also, I feel like even though the film taken place, I mean, long time ago, but still, you can still feel it these days, like what happened in Sudan and everywhere in the world. So even also
Yes.
in Ukraine. So yeah, so it resonates so much more the film nowadays, basically. Are this film going to travel again, Ina? Like maybe to other countries, or
We
is it going
have
to be
uh,
in online?
we have been for already more than a year. We are in the festival. We have been screened more
Right.
than 40 festivals worldwide. We
Oh
are still
wow!
continuing.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We are still continuing to be invited to the film festivals in new countries, and we also are going to have our theatrical release in US starting from this August. So we'll be in big cities. We'll be in New York, in cinemas in New
Wow.
York, in Los Angeles, in Boston, and Chicago. So I'll ask audience in US if they want to watch this film, follow our social media and website. So next is theatrical. We already been in theatrical release in Benelux countries, and now next is US, which is coming next for the film.
Oh, cool. So then the next month until end of this year is going to be screened in US then.
Hmm. Yes.
Awesome. Are you already starting working for your new project at the moment, if we may know?
I do have, I love animation. I think I will return to animation again, but I needed a little bit like break from it because it's very, very heavy process. So I'm doing my new project, a pure documentary with co-director Lilit Movsisyan in an elderly
Yeah.
house in Armenia. It's a small elderly house where elders are staging Shakespeare, and we are following this group of old people from different backgrounds, basically representing different society groups of Armenia. They are all old people, but they are very enthusiastic. And at this very late stage of their life, they decided to be as creative as they can and enjoy every moment of their life. And they are staging Shakespeare, and we are following them to see, like, will they succeed, how it will go, and yeah.
Oh wow. So you have been following these elders for quite some time
Yes,
now.
yeah, it's more than half a year we are following them.
Oh wow, wow. I cannot wait to watch that one. Sounds very interesting. I'm very interested about what you do with this. Because
It's
I mean it's very
amazing.
rare to see. It's very rare to see, isn't it?
It is, and the characters are really amazing. They really enjoy every moment of the life, and this is basically a gay film about that. Despite you are old and life seems like not easy because you are in elderly house, if you accept life basically and you enjoy life, you can you can do whatever you dream. So it's as they say once, they have nothing to lose now, but they have a lot. They can achieve a lot, so they are trying to achieve as much as they can.
Oh wow, that's that's very touching. Yes, if you can accept that and you can learn from the elders like that, and just to enjoy the life as it should be.
Yes. Yeah. So
Okay, Ina, thank you so much. I know you're
thank
very
you.
busy. Thank you so much for spending time
Thank
with
you for
Europe on
this
Screen and your
opportunity.
audience in Indonesia.
And thanks for having European screen in Indonesia. I mean for our film. Is this I believe this is our like first time that Armenian film is
Yes,
in your festival. Yeah.
yes.
So we are very proud. We are very proud that Aurora Sunrise is the first film.
Yes, so
Yeah.
this is actually also the first Armenian animation ever in the festival. So that's why it's very interesting for us to screen it here. And also the film is still going to be screened not in only in Jakarta, but it's also in other cities. So we are hoping that your film could meet more audience outside in Indonesia.
Thank you for this opportunity. We are
Thank you
very
so much,
happy.
Ina.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you and good luck for your next project. I couldn't wait for the elder story.
Have fantastic festival and yeah,
Thank
thank you.
you. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Okay, bye.
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 Okay, everyone. Thank you so much. That was Inna Sahakiyan from the director of the Aurora Sunrise. Kalau kalian masih mau nonton, masih ada filmnya, bisa dicek jadwalnya di Europe on Screen. Kita sudah memutarnya kemarin juga, kalau nggak salah hari Rabu, sekarang hari Jumat ya, sampai lupa hari. Kalian masih bisa nonton filmnya, bisa dicek nanti di Europe on Screen jadwalnya untuk selanjutnya. Terima kasih banyak. Saya Melina Putri Bismurti, Festival Co-Director dari Europe on Screen, undur diri dulu. Besok kita masih ada Europe on Screen-nya, ada di IV Tamrin, ada di Gute, Indonesia di Jakarta di Jalan Samratulangi, ada di Erasmus Swiss, ada juga di Austrian Embassy, ada juga di SAE, Istituto Italiano di Cultura, dan di kota-kota lainnya kecuali di Bekasi. Di Bekasi sudah berakhir kemarin, jadi masih ada di Jogja, Bandung, Surabaya, dan Pasar, dan di Medan. Shout out untuk IV Indonesia juga yang sudah menyediakan tempat untuk Instagram Live kali ini di festival, karena kami memang, saya Noval melakukan Instagram Live-nya memang langsung dari festival venue, karena pada saat ini juga sedang berlangsung surprise screening di IV Tamrin. Thank you and I'll see you guys soon. Ciao.